Hi, this is Lorena and I wanted to do a video for you guys. I went ahead and I embroidered several panels. I embroidered three. One is Overcomer, another one is Victorious, and another one was Triumphant. And I wanted to do different quilting techniques on my long arm quilting machine. So just recently I did a banner, a little banner for myself, and I did the word Triumphant. I was so excited about it because that's going to be my word this month. I want to be triumphant in all my circumstances. I want, just to feel good about the things that I do and just, yeah, that's how I want to feel. Well, I finally quilted it and I did a whole bunch of work and I embroidered the lettering. I did check to make sure it wasn't misspelled, but like an idiot, when I typed it in, apparently it is misspelled. Some wonderful lady on my Facebook group, when I posted a picture of it, said that I misspelled it. Not everything in my life is triumphant, and that's why I wanted to use the word. And now I think it's a true parallel of the goofiness and stupidity that I walk through sometimes, that I wrote triumphant. Triumphant. The word that I embroidered and the word that I quilted this beautiful quilting on, and I did a video and it's beautiful. I'm using a new camera on my long arm quilting machine, and I was so excited when I posted it. And the truth is sometimes I am a triumphant. My life is triumphant, not triumphant. The truth is, I think life is like that. Sometimes I wanted not to post this video thinking, oh, forget it, this is stupid. But you know what? I am going to post it because not everything in my life is perfect. Not everything is triumphant. Not everything goes smooth sailing. Not everything that I do is 100 steps forward. Sometimes I take 3 steps forward and take 10 back. Sometimes I just, I'm lucky I got my pants on. I'm lucky that I'm getting anything done in my life. Sometimes life feels that way, where there's just so much going on and you're just trying to catch up, or even catch a breath, or just trying to rise up to the surface when you feel like everything's just coming at you and pulling you. That's been this month for me. I've been extremely busy with baseball season and clients in and out. There hasn't been much time of rest or peace. It's just been ongoing, on top of me, just trying to get things done in the midst of chaos. The reality of where I'm at, and I think it just says it all. I can't even spell triumphant right. But at least I tried to do it beautifully. I guess, I don't know. So I wanted to share this with you. I thought it would be funny, stupid, more stupid than funny, I guess, and that not everything in your life has to be perfect for you to be triumphant. You just have to try to be triumphant. So I thank you for watching. I hope you like this quilting video. I appreciate you taking your time to watch me. So I'll see you in the quilting, okay? Bye. Alright, so here's my piece of fabric that I embroidered. My misspelling. Such is life. So I went ahead and I ironed my fabric and I folded it in 4s, horizontally, vertically, and I gave myself some ironing marks. That's what I showed earlier. I went on clip art and got myself some beautiful filigree and downloaded it to my Cricut, and I cut myself some cardstock. I also cut myself a larger piece of cardstock because I really liked how the bigger looked. This is the way I design. I'm just kind of playing around trying to figure out what I like, and I decided to use the bigger filigree, but I used the bigger piece of the cardstock. I find it's easier to manipulate, and also it's easier to mark. So I went ahead and I put some spray mount and I removed my little piece of where I had it, and I went ahead and placed my cardstock on there and started tracing my filigree. This makes it a lot easier because you don't have a whole bunch of little pieces. It's one whole giant piece, but I like the smaller pieces to figure out where the placement's at. I also had a lot of trouble with my marking tool. My favorite marking tool, Clover. You're my favorite marking tool, but I found that I love this one better, especially for the detail work. This is called Mark Be Gone. It's a water-soluble marking tool. Look at that beautiful, tiny little tip. It comes out real bright. It doesn't take a while for the ink to come out, and I liked it because I could get in those little corners that I would need to do with the tinier kind of detail, the filigree. That Clover, the pen is too chunky, the tip is anyway. So I had a lot of problems. So the Mark Be Gone water soluble tool is wonderful. I love that pen now. Here I got myself on my long arm. I'm using a poly batting. I hate poly. I really do, but someone gave me a whole giant roll, and I like doing these kind of works because it's so lofty, but it's itchy and it's kind of hard to manipulate. So make sure you baste your fabric down really well. The loftiness of the poly is hard to control sometimes, so the more you have your fabric based, the better. Also on the quilting, I like starting on a downward position. I quilt a lot smoother, so make sure that you just try to quilt as smoothly as possible, even if you're not perfectly on the line. You don't have to be perfect here, because once you remove the water soluble, after you wet it, it's going to disappear. No one's going to know what the real design was. So I like that kind of grace and not being merciful, but make sure that when you are quilting, that you quilt in a way that you're flowy and that you're not kind of doing hard edges, and that you give yourself grace to go a little bit wider if you want to, or go a little bit more narrow from the design if you need to, because quilting is different than marking on a flat piece of fabric. And when you're quilting on a machine, the needle is a different thickness, and the loftiness of the fabric change your quilting. From the last time I learned that I need to go ahead and quilt on my lettering, try to not be right on top of the lettering, because I noticed that I would go on top of the lettering, which is okay because I could get a Sharpie and color in that white area. But I noticed that if I went a little bit off, like I'm echoing, maybe an eighth off, that it looked like it created this wonderful shadow with the lettering. And just be patient and take your time and enjoy this process. After I did that, I got some water and a bowl, and I decided to remove all my markings that I didn't follow the lines on. But what I like about this is that once you remove everything, you don't know you made a mistake. And two, you want to remove all the marks because they are a distraction when you're trying to put a fill in this area. This is where you decide what kind of fill you like. I decided to do a stippling, and then I stippled around, and then I stippled on top of my stippling, so it was a lot more tighter quilting, especially inside the filigree areas where I want that filigree to pop up and create that positive and negative space. When I got away from the center of the filigree or those tight little areas, I went ahead and I just kind of did a little bit bigger meandering or stippling to open up and get the quilting a little bit more breadth. But here, this is where you change your quilting. You can do lines, you could do pebbles, you could do shells, you could do any type of fill you want. You're not limited other than just your creativity. You could do anything here. I'm letting you see how I quilted in certain areas and how that stippling on top of the stippling, I didn't do it when there was more opening. I let the quilting kind of give a little bit more breath, and I opened it a little bit more instead of having it so tight where I did it in the filigree. And I'm just showing you different pictures. I think it's kind of self-explanatory what I did, and I did that through the whole quilt. You could do this on a domestic quilt because it's just meandering, and it's a small enough piece that it doesn't consume. It's not hard to maneuver on a little domestic machine. And so that's what I did, and this is what it looks like, triumphant. Ugh. But you know, hey, I just thought that it was too pretty not to do a video on, and this is what the back looked like, and this is what one of the sides where the filigree was at, what it looks like, and this is the back on the same side. And I'm also showing you the opposite side. I did different quilting in certain areas, but the truth is it's all kind of just filigree. I added a flower or two here and there, but you could barely see it. I really do hope you like this kind of quilting. I thank you for watching, and I really do appreciate you. Come join me at Lorena's Quilting on my Facebook group.